Hello, hello. I'm here. So should be able to continue. Don't think I touched my other saves. I guess one thing I could check on is you. Okay. Oh right, I think requisition points are gained through bodyguards engaging in combat. Spurion turns his entire body towards you with the soft hiss of hydraulics. The clanking of his implants echoes sharply across the bridge. He inclines his head slightly in greeting, his neck augmatics grinding beneath the collar of his coat. My conduct after our return from Trazen's trap was unbecoming. I accept your apology. Sparion's vox synthesizer emits a mocking trill. I made no apology, but I am glad we have left our grievances behind. I wish to speak on the events on Dargonus. An ill-fated day? Ask your questions, then let us leave this topic. Why did the Inquisition lay siege to Dargonus? For some time, Sparion is silent, and only the hum of the mechanism sustaining his body can be heard. At last, he raises a hand and gestures to himself with an elegant flourish. The reason stands before you. From the day I obtained the warrant, everything I have done was for the good of the dynasty. To bring prosperity to our protectorate, I would sacrifice anything, including myself. The countless battles I endured took their toll upon my body. And soon frail flesh was replaced with implants. Heresy, that was what Daedalus said when he first encountered me. From that moment, he was always on my heels, hunting me, trying to prove I had betrayed the Imperium. The narrow-minded fool, Daedalus, whatever, believed the Inquisition had the authority to judge me, the anointed of the God Emperor. Tell me about the Xeno artifact, the sword you carried. I found it within a black tomb belonging to the kin of the vile Xenos Trazen. Its former owner, an Eldari, was gripping it tightly in his shriveled hands, as though refusing to part with it even in death. This stubbornness, along with the blade's masterful craftsmanship, sparked my interest. I traveled to the farthest reaches of the Chronos Expanse to uncover the truth about this artifact. Eventually, I managed to capture one of the so-called children of Museion. Under torture, the Xenos identified the blade as the Crimson Dance of Cain and recounted its history. A mighty Eldari warrior once wielded the relic. This warrior ventured out to destroy one of the lairs of the ancient enemy of his kind, whom they called Augur. Evidently, he failed. An astonishing story, do you not think? Siberian clenches and unclenches his creaking hand. The sword would have laid in that tomb for many millennia had I not found it. But find it I did, and I turned the legacy of the Xenos to the service of humanity. For it is our species' destiny, heir of mine, to rule the galaxy and everything in it. Everything without exception. Who is Amelia? Amela, actually. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised that you know the name. I don't hide it. Amela, Inquisitor Amela, was my patroness. She belonged to the Ordo Xenos and largely shared my views on the technologies of other races. Like me, she believed we should use Xenos knowledge for the benefit of humanity. We formed an excellent partnership, yet our alliance remained secret, largely because of the likes of Daedalus. How did the siege truly end? I personally slew Inquisitor Daedalus and the Palatine with that very blade of legend. With their leader gone, the madman's acolytes acknowledged my superiority and abandoned their efforts to breach the place. Despite the Vox synthesizer's interference, you recognize unmistakably the pride in your ancestor's voice. Tell me about Laria. Laria, Sparion's gaze softens. My seneschal, my daughter. For years, I did not know of her existence. She could have merely been the mistake of a chance dalliance with a nameless servant, but instead she became my most loyal ally. From an early age, Laria forged her path to the bridge through faultless service. Imagine my surprise when she revealed she was my daughter. My only regret is that she was the child of an unequal union, and I could not name her my heir. I entrusted Laria with my life and the fate of the dynasty, appointing her as my seneschal. Yet I was prepared to give her more. I was prepared to place the warrant of trade in her hands. Do you know that the Sarboks are now a noble house? You hear the whirring of augmetics as your ancestor turns his gaze towards Sarbok. Zaman served me well. I hope his descendants have not honored his memory. I wish to speak about Juvena. A spark of crimson anger flashes in Sperion's augmented eye. Do not ask me of her. Juvena is my daughter, yet everything that once tied us together has vanished into the abyss of ages. All has turned to dust. That is all you need to know. The siege of the Rogue Trader's Palace would be a notable event. Why have I heard nothing of it? I do not know, heir, but I'm certain the Inquisition was involved. Scrubbing inconvenient events from history is undoubtedly their handiwork. Perhaps the Holy Ordos did us a service by erasing the siege of Dargonus from their records, for along with their defeat, they also consigned my transgressions to oblivion. I've learned what I wish to know. Siberian nods warily, and you hear the dull clack of his augmented vertebrae beneath his heavy coat. I wish to know more about you. Oh, Siberian straightens his shoulders slightly. What do you wish to know? What was your life like before you assumed the leadership of the dynasty? I spent my youth in luxury. Von Valancius may not have been the most influential house in the Kronos Expanse, but we were wealthy. I had everything except what I truly desired. I dreamt of distant stars, and imagined myself, Siberian von Valancius, exploring unknown worlds, expanding the boundaries of the Protectorate. Siberian's faded lashes flutter, the skin tightening as if he is attempting to smile. Yet my dreams remained mere dreams, for I was only fifth in line to inherit the warrant. How did you obtain the warrant? For the sake of my dream of a great dynasty, I was forced to master an art necessary for any man of my station, intrigue. I take no pride in my actions, yet they made me what I am, a holder of the warrant in trade. I do not regret that I had to eliminate a couple of relatives along the way. It only benefited the dynasty. How did you fall into Trajan's captivity? His vox modulator lets out a low rumble of displeasure. These are not memories I am keen to share with you, my heir. I do not trust you enough for that, bound by dynastic bonds though we may be. Why do you have so many augmetics? A small price to pay to achieve a dream, don't you think? Siberian runs his fingers across his face, and at that touch you hear the soft chime of metal. In the pursuit of distant stars and new discoveries, I've lost much. My face, this body, these are just what is most apparent. Yet I regret nothing, Azathoul. And where I grant... And were I granted a second chance for fresh achievements, I would gladly sacrifice everything once more. I'm certain you could relate. To rise against death and escape at the last moment, there's no greater feeling, is there? Thank you for satisfying my curiosity. You've reminded me of what I lived for, dear heir, and that is a pleasant memory. I shall leave you, Lord Siberian. Okay, what else do we have to do? A couple of companion quests. Demand answers from Calcazar, Pacific Gateway, perform the ritual. Let the cycle be discontinued in System Speculo. That's what I was heading for. When in doubt, save. Okay, so I can go back to the crash site. I wonder... Okay. There is now a permanent storm there, so we can't really return. My brain is mush. Okay, where the fuck am I? System Speculo, where the fuck are ya? I'm gonna say... Yeah, I don't know. pawn. There it is. That's gonna be a trip to get back to. First let's do the deadly warp route. The road traders have written no. See, a warp tear is split open on the storage decks, and a whole pack of demons have burst through. Creatures of odd forms and varieties, but all of them equally bloodthirsty and brutal. The crew is struck with terror, praying for the Lord Captain's wisdom. The rope trader has written no will be there to deal with it.
Calculating onto bonds.
That's nice.
Just a minor setback.
Let's see, so we're dealing with 9. But we also have pink horrors. We're going to be doing some bullshit. So actually, okay, so it can be up there. Argenta can be up there for some real damage. I will be there. This guy can be here. And then I guess Cabela can be here. We do just need to kill the demons. But knocking out the pedestals will give us more room to act.
My ears are ringing. Against iron knows no pain.
Of course, everything gets to act first. Hey! Argenta's on the job, though. But of course, you can't just move up and cover. Anyway.
I'll do it.
This rush. Confident
Faith
approach.
without deeds is worthless.
Furious recital. Devastating attack.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Okay.
Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, work is a prayer. Faith without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it.
Let's go and have you move over there. Cassia, could you do a little reality mounting? And clean up a lot of the trash. And again.
If I may, now your plan is done.
God damn. Okay, so now we just have some random blue horrors here and there. You know, let's go finest hour to Cabela.
I'll paint your death in colors.
Trust me,
You know,
an
that one.
offering of blood.
And go and pop on over
A
there.
dance of blades and shadows.
And
The
I
shadows
got the last one.
The web serves.
And it's combat. Yay!
There is only death, yours or mine.
There we go. Man. Really hanging. But yeah, up to Mundus Valancius. Where was System Speculo? Where the hell is it? Had to be Telcos, Trontos, System Speculo. There it is. Can access it from Trinotos, from Telecos, from Orcelio, Prophecy. Let's get up to the Toribum Maledicta. Let's see, the Lord Captain and his crew have lost track of how much time they spent in the warp jump. The vessel itself, the groaning of the bulkheads, the Vox Master's reports. It all happened so many times before, and would happen yet again. No matter what occurred, the officers could not shake the feeling that they were running in circles, as if the voyage across the Sea of Souls would be eternal. Routine actions blended into grey nothingness and filled the crew's hearts with anguish. Many members considered submitting to the mercy of the chaotic powers outside. Days went by, but the navigator did not give the order to leave the Materium. Heed your inner voice. Lord Captain's insight pierced through the mind-numbing haze. It appears that these ship's astropaths and the navigator had been sounding the alarm, but their messages had been ignored. Their combined efforts finally broke the time loop, releasing the vessel from the Imperium's embrace. The warp never tires of its cruel mockery. Bellum Solitus. Yeah, Telecos, Trinitas. Oop. No insight for me. And down to Telecos. Trinitas. And finally to System Speculo. Dragonis colony event. Oh, right. I have a bunch of stuff to build, don't I? An unexpected report has arrived from the Navigator's sanctum. A new path has revealed itself to the Navigator in a mystical vision. According to the Omen, the void ship would be safer on this mysterious route. But can one not always trust the warp's revelations? Order to change course. Enemies of humanity aboard the void ship. At the head of the assault is an accursed traitor, a chaos space marine followed by enraged demons. Yeah, let's go kill him.
Litany of reconnaissance recited.
Ah.
I will deliver furious retribution.
Blood for the blood god! Skull for the skull throne!
Anyway. My lord, you block that guy. Cabela. You there. Pascal, you block there. Argenta. Be ready for some fun here. Yes, and myself.
The body.
That's alright, Argenta.
Doubt is for the weak.
Indeed.
As the Emperor
Confident
commands,
approach.
I act. I'll do it.
Let's rush.
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it.
Oh, yes.
Doubt
Gonna
is for
pop
the weak.
wildfire.
I'll do it. This is why I was chosen. Faith without deeds is
Run and gun.
worthless. As the Emperor...
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Doubt is for the
Pop.
weak.
Reload.
I will not.
Alright, you.
Isn't
And
this a
reality
job
real
for
quick. They can sneak over here.
Be careful not to cross my gaze. Face the navigator's might. That is foolishness.
Let's go and give finest hour to
I'll show
Abelard.
you why navigators are feared.
Actually, first, let's get Reckless Rush. Confident Approach.
At your beck and call,
Endure. Brace for
I will
impact.
do my duty.
Just to get all the way over here. And pop Devastating Attack as well. Reckless Strike. That's what pops
It
one
will be
enemy on
done.
you. I think that should be it.
At your beck and call.
Get an
No
extra attack.
matter the cost. I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
And demolish the last guy.
Sometimes you consult the appropriate treaties on Tactica Imperialis and weigh every step. Sometimes, though, you just fire your biggest cannon and save the day.
Truth.
Heal. We need to move on.
My presence is required. Shield of the Emperor. Oh. Yeah, pretty good. Materials arbitrage. Action support. Long overdue refurbishment for maneuvering drives. That'd be nice. Restoration fleet, long fang Michael. Cosbelic emission, a little bit of Xenoheresy for the reflector field. Until the beginning of the next turn, the wearer gains a bonus equal to, bonus or dodge equal to twice the number of cells moved this turn. In logistics of the crusade. Was that two-hander? No, it's one-hand. And we are in System Speculo. Explorator Flotilla. Ocean World with a search expedition. Did I already do this one? This oceanic planet resembles a boiling cauldron. The water temperature here never goes below 100 degrees. Such an environment is favorable for the proliferation of billions of aquatic xenoreptiles, but aside from the peculiar amphibians, the augurs fail to locate anything else. Okay. Neat. Let's go talk to the flotilla then. Your lordship, according to the ship's registry, we're looking at the Arc Mechanicus Hermetico. We picked up a Vox signal coming from her. Hermetico granting her a mission. May the Messiah of the discontinuing and reveal the way to a safe docking gate. The raspy voice of the person who recorded the message is vaguely familiar to you, but you can't put your finger on it. Requesting the right to participate in the first boarding party. Evaluate shuttle docking options. Is there a safe docking spot? Not at the moment, your lordship. The damage to the hull makes observations difficult, and surviving vacuum locks are sealed shut. I hypothesize that the proper vacuum lock may be opened using my personal access codes. Justification: a message from the Arc Mechanicus. What do we know about the ship? Each Arc is a sanctuary of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Every ship is a relic. They are incredibly ancient and were made to search the sacred standard template construct patterns for them. Legends tell of entire forge worlds that were later disassembled for parts to make such vessels. In any case, she is a ruin of her former glory. We observe numerous traces of internal decompression, but not a single sign of aggression carried out from the outside. For what it's worth, some of the decks look intact, at least from the outside. We are also picking up strange radiation emanating from the hull. We believe the ship has been in the processional of the damned for a long time. Assemble the boarding crew. We'll be done. Yeah, sure. Arc Mechanicus Hermetico. The pulse of this holy ship feels strangely familiar to him. Cogitator's screen glows faintly. Take a closer look and realize it's been gutted. Its innards replaced with candles that cast glints on the black plexiglass. Tech Tribesman. Let's grab those goods. Telemetric Logis Analyzer. Analyzer. Strategist. This furnace throughout with extraordinarily ancient and sacred mechanisms. What a great temple it used to be. Rustic metal statue is frozen in a menacing combative pose. The tribesman avoids your gaze and makes a strange gesture, probably some kind of ritual as you approach. Dare they set up camp right in the heart of this sacred machine? This is a sacrilege against the blessed remains.
If such is the Emperor's will.
lean, hunchbacked man studies you with his piercing gaze. One of his eyes looks you up and down, the other has been replaced by a bulky augmetic, ancient and adorned with gold, but is deactivated for some reason. He states in a dry voice, the ghosts of nothingness have entered the deck of the Akgen tribe. I greet your tribe, we come in peace. Man shrugs indifferently, his voice tinged with sympathy. It does not matter, you are ghosts. Take a closer look at the man. The middle-aged man carries a potentia coil on his shoulders, after the manner of tech priests. It is held in place by straps and is not connected to anything. Its weight has given him a hunched back. One of his arms has been replaced by an exquisite tech-scribe augmetic, but the quills and styli are incredibly dull, as though they've been scraped against a bare rock, and the limb's servomotor is dormant. The sight of the mangled augmetic elicits a pained grimace from Pascal. I am registering evidence of precious true flesh being operated in unacceptable conditions. The markings indicate that the sacred metal was fashioned many centuries ago on blessed Mars. Putting it to such crude and careless use is an insult to the Omnissiah. Pascal, what do you make of these people? Hypothesis. This primitive community is made up of descendants of low-ranking technomads who once serviced the deck. The name Akgen derives from category Akgen. AC stood for Acolyte, which serviced the main who serviced the main decks. Gen referred to the service staff who were assigned to general, as opposed to specialized maintenance duties. So they were general service acolytes. The man looks at you and Pascal with indifference. He does not seem to have understood a single word. How do you survive here? What do you do? We hold a vigil for all of existence, and the spirits of the mechanisms give us water, food, and nutrient mix. We thank them for that with rites of machine servicing and maintenance. So commends the great entity. I'm registering multiple deviations from the catechism of maintenance and operation in the actions of these units. Hypothesis. The breaches of sacred instructions do not stem from a malicious lapse into heresy. They are a consequence of the rite having been lost to memory. A grave heresy, but not as profane. The voice from the Vox is full of sorrow and reproach. Reproach. I can talk. I totally can. Who or what is the great entity? The supreme deity. The spirit of wisdom and revelations. It bears the name Marnat. The name grabs Pascal's attention. He says sternly, I'm registering a meaningful linguistic pattern, requesting all available information on Marnat. Marnat is a divine being of great wisdom. It was this great wisdom that discontinued the cycle, and all who had partaken of it lapsed into nothingness. It never partook of the wisdom, which is why we exist, and I have nothing to tell you about it, Ghost. You talk to us, your kinfolk do not. Why? I am the Fabricator General. My shoulders bear the sacred burden of leadership. A man shifts his shoulder, bent under the potentia coil resting upon them. The others fear you, as ghosts can carry the living away into nothingness. I am protected by Marnat's grace. Skulls roars like the blaring alarm of an extractor. Fabricator General, I am registering heresy. The man listens to the tech priest outburst without flinching. The universe must have a Fabricator General, the supreme priest of the Omnissiah. There is none other to hold that title. Therefore, it is mine. Have you seen anything unusual lately? The echo of an old crime was heard beneath the arching vaults of our home. The tribesman nods at you gloomily. A ghost of nothingness walked among us, of like appearance to you, but without a face. He spoke words that must not be spoken, and then penetrated the chamber of Observus, and our abode was shaken by the wrath of the gods for days. We felt as though we were drifting through nothingness. Pascal lowers his head and says quietly, that is him, my mentor, Marnat. What did he look like? His brow bore the mark of sorrow and past misdeeds, and his voice was like seeping sand. Was he alone? No, other ghosts walked with him, but he alone had a mind and a will. The others did his bidding. What is the chamber of Observus? See, an abode of deities and mighty spirits, secluded from mortals. The man points towards the entrance of the lift shaft. down this great tube they used to descend into the mortals. Now they have all retired to the house of observance, the calm and keen-sighted, there to remember and mourn the world that once was. The unit has given us a distorted description of the observatorium, the bay that housed the Hermetico's bridge. There, under a grand dome of glasscrete, the wisest hierarchs of the Adeptus Mechanicus would spend time in reflection and strive to discern the Omnissiah's guiding signs in the glitter of the stars. Pascal hesitates, then adds worriedly, "Correction, this data is a hypothesis. An archive search yielded no confirmation of this data. My possession of it is an anomalous cognitive fluctuation." I want to get in there. Abandon this thought. Your kind can't go in there. The Great Tube was made for the travel of gods, not mortals. Only one who has the blessing of Pref, the great spirit who rules this deck, may approach the Great Tube. But even such a one will have tried in vain, for the Great Tube spirits have sealed its gate and will only open it to those who know the divine word, and the rust wraiths ensure the humans don't steal the word. They'll make short work of any thief. Who is the spirit of Pref? The master of this deck, the second most important god after Marnat. Mortals cruelly betrayed his trust once, and he hasn't talked to them or protected them since. Pref only ever answers the shaman's invocations, and only occasionally at that. The tribesmen profane speculations, most likely describe an important machine spirit that remains awake. Requesting a conversation with the unit identified as the shaman. Divine word. What divine word? Words command all of existence. The gods ruled the universe using words of power. There was a time when mortals, too, were granted knowledge of them, but that time died along with the world. Hypothesis. The term divine word refers to a command litany. A thorough understanding of the situation aboard the Hermetico will allow me to select the correct litany and recite it to the mechanisms that are still operational. What are rust wraiths? And points to one of the motionless statues. The ancient ones, the servants of the gods. They used to be the gods' great warriors. Now they guard the peace of this universal cemetery and see to it that mortals don't challenge the divine order. The Scutari, the deck guard. These immortal servants are an elite detachment of the crew, blessed with the most ancient and wondrous augmetic enhancements. They can survive in a sleeping state for centuries, even. After a brief pause, a whisper comes from his vox. Their presence here is unusual. Typically, the immortals only leave their storage chapel on orders from the bridge. So how did the faceless ghost get in? You knew the secret? The spell was not of divine origin. Its power surpassed that of the gods. It was born in the mysterious depths of the irregularity, and soon after a mortal first uttered it, the world was no more. Pascal waves a mechadendrite at him in annoyed dismissal and says impatiently, "The Blessed Marnat can command any mechanism on his ship. In doctrinal heresy uttered by the unit is unworthy of attention." Guesses are amazingly spot on, Pascal. Tech Priest is taken aback. He pauses to think, and then says with no great confidence, "This statement is false. Each of the hypotheses are logically deduced from our present situation." I see. Good. Do not seek to enter the God's Abode, Ghost. It is no place for you. The undertakers of the world that expired in the great discontinuing of the cycle. The mourners holding an eternal requiem for the universe. Fascinated by the answer, Pascal says quietly, "Let the cycle be discontinued." A wan, condescending smile graces the man's lips. It was discontinued a long time ago. Do you believe the world has perished? This statement is true. The world ceased to exist a very long time ago. It turned to nothingness, to ashes. All that's left are these ruins, the last shard of the universe, its cenotaph. What do you think destroyed the universe? The unthinkable was wrought. The cycle was discontinued. This tribesman's mind is full of the most unenlightened superstition. Why does this unit seemingly know less than some primitive barbarian? Is this good or bad? Neither. It just happened. But it was a grievous event, and we grieve. Is that why you call us ghosts? Yes. There's only nothingness outside this ship. Sometimes it spits out ghosts born of the world's ashes, and they wander in. Sight of you saddens us, for we mourn you. Alas, there is nothing we can do to help you, since you do not exist. I see. I must take my leave. Farewell, Ghost. I hope nothingness summons you back into its embrace soon. Kind of paranoia drove the crew to place the cannon platform here, at the very heart of the ship. The barbaric inscriptions blasphemously profaning the flesh of the sacred machine echo the words of the Requiem of reverent shutdown. This marking does not follow fleet protocol. This constitutes a Category 10 blasphemy.
The web beckons.
These barbarians are pillaging the ship's supplies, registering a Category 9 blasphemy. And registering evidence that a Volkite carbine was fired here. And registering a protocol violation, use of weapons by Adeptus Mechanicus soldiers inside one of the ship's bays. Tech Shaman Lakut. Tech Shaman looks up at you with dim eyes. He smells strongly of exhaust fumes. Have you come to speak to the great Pref? Ghosts? Pref will not speak your lesser tongue, but I can help. I can interpret. Look at him. The aging barbarian's skin is covered in tattoos of mechanisms, as if the ink drawings of cogs could pass for actual augmetics. Wires and scraps of flex tubing are braided into his hair, as well as shards from a broken data slate screen. Cogitator circuit boards hang on threads from his large ceremonial drum. I'm registering Category 6, 7, and 8 blasphemies in this tribesman's vestments. Only enlightened tech priests are authorized to dismantle and interact with the bodies of sacred machines. And painting the skin in crude imitation of true flesh is a profane mockery. It is how I venerate the iron spirits who have done their duty and passed into nothingness, Ghost. I do this in the hope that I might gain some of their wisdom. The statement is false, John. I am not registering any veneration. It was Pref, our deck's great patron spirit, who protects us and watches over everything that happens on it. Pref used to be a kind father to us until wicked people tricked him. That was when he disowned the mortals who lived here. It wiped the names of everyone who used to be under his patronage from his memory and no longer recognizes their faces. Since then, Pref has been a harsh and cruel-hearted master who is deaf to our prayers. Pref, hypothesis. The barbarian is using this debased designation to refer to a prefect enumerator, an especially sacred cogitator served by all of the deck's junior machine spirits. Now we're registering a Category 6 blasphemy. The tribesman claims to communicate with it. Only enlightened adepts of the Messiah are permitted to interact directly with the prefect enumerator. Hypothesis. The part of the legend that speaks of disowning the mortals and forgetting their faces describes the removal of access rights from authorized units. For reasons unknown, the prefect enumerator was ordered to cease accepting commands from outsiders. How do you talk to Pref? The tech shaman raises the roaring mechanical sensor and inhales a lungful of its aromatic exhaust fumes. The tribesman's eyes grow dim, and he puts his hands on his drum. His fingers strike the taut synthetic leather with remarkable deftness and rhythm, like this. Pascal frowns and says darkly, I'm registering a Category... Blasted layman, this blessed smoke is meant for the sacred machines, not your lungs. And the tech priest falls silent and listens carefully. Before uttering in astonishment, this primitive melody is a language. Our language. A variety of rhythm-based tech vernacular in which meaning is created by the length of the pauses between the signals. We have come to plead for Pref's benevolence. Every word you say is accompanied by a series of quick and drum taps in a complex, choppy rhythm. Crackling comes in response from a vox hidden somewhere inside the wall. The tech shaman tilts his head and says, the great Pref would like to know who is speaking to him. The prefect enumerator is running an identification procedure. Given existing data on the machine spirit's refusal to follow orders within the chain of command, I predict that standard identifiers will be assigned a low priority. Tell him you are the Messiah of discontinuing. This unit is Magos Pascal Hanoman. He hesitates a little and then adds, some identify him as the Messiah of discontinuing, although that statement is false. Tech Shaman translates Pascal's words into quick taps on his drum, strangling circuit boards and jingling dramatically. He inhales the aromatic exhaust of his roaring sensor, listens carefully, and says in a strained voice, Pref asks why he should treat your words with respect, not scorn them. See, Pascal's voice becomes dry and bristly. The machine spirit is requesting to know this unit's access privileges. It refuses to submit to a stranger's will without a compelling reason. Machine spirits can be capricious and undisciplined. After years without sanctified maintenance, this one may have forgotten all about obedience. Normally, in cases like this, a tech priest would bring the wayward spirit to its senses with a shock from an electric prod or blow from a wrench, accompanied by the litany of uninterruptible obedience. Point at the surrounding ruins. Are you sure this is not a compelling reason? The hypothesis is of merit. This unit is conducting a rescue mission in which the safety of an Archmagos rank unit is at stake. Requesting emergency authorization. The tech shaman translates Pascal's words into a sharp staccato of drum taps, then nods with an important air and says, Pref inquires why you were seeking his friendship. Hypothesis. The Prefect Enumerator's request is to be interpreted as, what is the purpose of your visit? You know the answer yourself, Pascal. I've come to discontinue the cycle. See, the tech shaman bows his head, sneers, and rests, much like the crackling vox. You speak, but the great Pref isn't convinced that you should listen. He chooses to remain deaf and indifferent. Pascal's vox hisses angrily, and he shakes his head. The Prefect Enumerator's reaction is anomalous. Such disregard for regalia can only be explained by protocol, signifying an extreme degree of danger to the vessel. The ancient servitor seems dead. The infrequent twitching of his head is the only glimmer of life left in him. Numerous augmetic regalia embedded in the body of the servant of the Omnissiah speak to his high standing and devoutness. Can you activate him, Pascal? Tech Priest carefully touches the servitor's withered body with his mechadendrites. Data spikes slide out of them and sink into the servitor's augmetics. Pascal's vox sounds thoughtful, slightly puzzled. I identify this unit as Magos Logis Ectodon 11. The unit received 7 commendations for advances in astrography, recorded in the Fleet Archive. The unit, he liked watching the stars. He called them beacons left for us by the Omnissiah. The servitor gives a jolt, raises his head, and fixes his augmented eyes on you. The large black circles of his visors are cloudy and covered in scratches. The pained moan comes from the speaker on the servant's throat. Unit status operational. Unit identifies itself as no data available, or Omnissiah knows what? Pascal sighs heavily. He is suffering. This unit is long past its operational life expectancy, but the particularly ancient and sacred true flesh it was rewarded for its outstanding service to the fleet is still prolonging its years. Do you know him? This statement is false. My archive has no record of any encounters with this unit or any archive requests concerning it. I just know, and I grieve. Pascal touches the servitor's pale skin, covered in inky cacography. The tribespeople inscribed his body with the blessed manual of maintenance and repair. Hypothesis. Ignorant to the true purpose of this litany, they perceived it as a health-replenishing magic spell. Tech Brother Hectodon 11. This unit identifies itself as Pascal Hanuman. Can you hear me? Do you know me? Can you tell me what happened here? A jumble of sounds comes from the servitor's speaker, as if a very old man who has outlived his faculty of speech is trying to utter once familiar words now strange to him. And suddenly, sparkle lights up in his visors, and he utters with great strain, executing function all preserved capacities engaged in executing primary function. We would like to go up to the observatory. Request denied. The rattle in the servitor's voice can be easily mistaken for indignation. Access to the lift system denied. Services is in obscuratoria mode. An obscuratoria is a complete ban on holy ministry within the compound. Any and all sacred maintenance procedures are deferred until after the ban is lifted. An obscuratoria is declared when a temple has been compromised by suspected corruption, before battle, or in the event of a major critical incident. This unit cannot select the appropriate countermanding order without knowing the exact reason obscuratoria has been declared. Prof's benevolence. Introduce yourself formally, Pascal. As you know, the Magos Explorator Pascal Hanuman, a member of the Cognition's fleet, presenting doctrinal compliance and algorithmic obedience certificates. The indicator on Pascal's neural cogitator glows. New data lights up in his noospheric aura that no layperson can see. Access privileges. You are an eminent and venerable Magos. Pascal nods and enunciates. By my power as a Magos Explorator, decorated with 4 1-grade promotions and an entitlement to Category 3 Sacred Augmentation, as well as likely the only active ordained tech priest of the Adeptus Mechanicus aboard this ship, I appoint myself this vessel's supreme hierarch. And why? Tell him you are on a mission from Amarnat. Perhaps the spirit knows who he is. I'm following the orders of my mentor, Archmagus Amarnat, and correcting a mistake made decades ago. Tech Shaman listens to the crackling coming from the hidden vox in response and shakes his head contritely. The great Prif does not recognize your name or your face. He will not grant you his friendship and bids you to leave. Let's try this again. The machine spirit speaks the tech priest language. Do we even need the old man? The statement is false. The idiom is a distinctive vernacular, most likely only used by the ship's crew. It's intuitively familiar to this unit, intelligible. Messiah of discontinuing. These not compelling reasons. Marnat. Okay. So, discontinuing. I think a show of force is in order. Show this machine its place. This statement is true. Pascal extends a hand towards the machine, which is enveloped in a shower of sparks. The crack in the tech priest's armored respirator shines a bright green. There is steel in his voice. My power is my authorization. Acknowledge it or you will regret it, wayward spirit. Perfect, no. Tech shaman shouts in fear and shakes his drum frantically. Perfect acknowledges your power, ghost. He does. Yes, why you seek his friendship. Tell it something profound and spiritual to invoke the Messiah. Introduce you formally. Show of force. Mission from Amarnat. Okay, so it has to be Messiah of discontinuing. Show of force. Mission from Amarnat. Messiah of discontinuing. Show of force. You know the answer yourself, Pascal. The tech shaman listens carefully, or listens to the crackling that comes in response and opens his mouth to say something, only for Pascal to interrupt him in a tone of authority. The prefect enumerator has stated that he knows my name and is familiar with my power. He respects my mission and grants me a place within the crew's chain of command. Your work here is done by an Herrick interpreter. Pascal looks at you and adds with a slight surprise, I remember this language now. I remember precisely. This unit used to know it. Now it remembers having known it. The tech priest turns towards the wall with the sacred mechanisms concealed inside and says doubtfully, I'm registering an anomaly. The data exchange deviated from the standard registration protocol. The prefect enumerator was commanded to limit the number of people who have clearance to issue orders, including even high-ranking tech priests from other ships. It was tasked with defending the observatorium as if it were under siege. Our mutual introduction rather resembled an exchange of secret passwords. Aha. Okay.
Locomotives are fully operational.
Imprints and footprints indicate the locals have joined the secret dungeon tank into something like a ritual fall.
Over there!
Suppose I should have gone poking around some more. Heavy lifters, plus 30 strength, holy shit. If the aware has not moved previous turn, their ranged attacks with heavy weapons. Destroy 5 athletics and immunity to toxin. Huh. Well. That's the thing.
Death walks with me.
See, the bay was breached from the inside. Traces of scaling suggest the use of a melted charge. Huh. Okay, so what now? Find clues that will explain why the lift is blocked.
No sleep, no rest. Only duty, only death.
It's like, that's not gonna be it. We're seeing residual traces of paper combustion inside this custer's casing. Did they fuel this repository of knowledge with books?
So shall it be.
This custer's pattern is so old and sacred. I've never seen the like of it before. I've only heard about them from fragments of legends. I recognize the pattern on the chant. They're imitating a reactor shutdown vigil. Something simply ordered the spirit of this machine to die.
The world is full of colors I have never seen before.
I feel like I might be missing something. We remove the lockdown and make the system obey Pascal's orders.
Anything worthy of my attention?
I don't think I have to leave. And I'm gonna gather all the information I can from here.
My Auspex has detected something.
I thought that was something.
My visions showed this path, and many others.
Let's talk to that shit now. Huh.
Whatever you wish.
It's like, yeah, you got the Alskatari.
Ugh, this master-crafted patella augment is not fit for a servitor.
What am I missing? Okay, what's this called? Cycle be discontinued. Let's see here. So discontinued. Of course, it's bugged.
I've never wandered so much before.
Something. There it goes. Everything is clear. Battle was fought here, and during the preparations for it, Marnot declared the observatorium off limits. Okay, I just had to look at everything. Again. Pascal, unblock the lift. Hypothesis. As soon as a lift goes up to the observatorium, or going up to the observatorium is operational, we will be attacked. The deck guard will activate and attack us. Requesting confirmation of readiness for combat. Do it. Pascal enunciates solemnly, accompanying each word the binary commands. As its first pronouncement, this unit declares that no security threat to the High Observatorium is present. As its second pronouncement, this unit orders the operation of the lift system to be restored. As its third pronouncement, this unit confirms its authorization to issue that order. An intricate, monumental, and piercing binary aria pours from Pascal's vox. Encoded in its signals is Hanuman's authority to give orders on the ship. The servitor stares at Pascal with visored eyes and bows his head awkwardly. Regalia identified. I greet the venerable Magos and will execute the order presently. Lift system activated. The servitor's last words are drowned out by a harrowing screech that rolls across the deck as several shrill voices wail, "Security perimeter breach for the Omnissiah." Piff paff. Let's see. Scale himself. Okay. Get up here. Edlard. Make it up there. Cassia, come on. Sit back here. Immortal Scutari devotee. Extensive modification.
Is the reward.
Oh, we're gonna get some power swords out of this.
I venerate you, machine spirits.
Argenta. Confident approach. Reckless rush.
I'll do it.
Dual Furious Recital.
Faith
Devastating
without
attack.
deeds is worthless. As the Emperor, you, my Emperor! Doubt is for the weak.
Wildfire.
God Emperor, move through me! Be the fire in my heart!
Begin to bang.
I'll do it.
A bit of a run and gun.
You, my Emperor! As the Emperor commands, I act.
Call that there. Cassia. Why don't you just get into position and really blast these guys?
I have read tomes of military tactics.
Gotta
In
give
the
Abelard a
name
chance
of
to
House
act.
Olserio, I shall prevail.
Victory is imminent.
Endure. Confident approach.
It will be done. Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
No! These ruby flashes are choking me!
And
At your
a
beck and
reckless
call.
rush to get the ball. So let's get over there.
My place is at the fore. Target well struck.
And devastating attack and charge.
Grey hair, sure hair. One fewer target. We'll rule
A
the
little bit of
stars
steady
themselves.
superiority.
I will do my duty. Target well struck. At your beck and call.
And can't really do much.
It will be done. An exemplary strike. Victory is imminent. Target well struck.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Stems.
Indeed.
Get that extra little bit of movement.
It will be done. Grey hair, sure hand. I took care of this one.
And then more. Let's go here.
A tactically sound approach. One fewer target. I will
Again.
do my duty. Victory is imminent.
Let's get this guitar shooter.
I took care of this one.
And the next one. Go over here to finish
Follow
off
my
that
lead.
guy.
One fewer target.
And then
I'm at
doors.
your service.
There. Time to loot. Glow of Dead Stars. Soul Pattern Elite Power Sword. I don't think I could find a better damaging sword. Even a two-handed chainsword is still way more effective. Although, Watcher from above could be really good. Just for that extra parry bonus. And dodge. But nah. On
Follow
we
the
go.
threads.
Figure out what the fuck is going on with Pascal. What? What? Okay, let's try this again.
The sooner we start.
Ah, great. Why is this like this? Autosave. Hopefully I'm not gonna be stuck. I don't know, I'm gonna have to go through all this again. I am. Yay.
The web beckons.
Huzzah. Can't remember, I need to look at...
Searching is my observance.
Follow my steps.
Oh. Alright. So go back through all of this and hope things aren't bugged on the other end. Find clues explaining stuff, but... Okay, there we go. We found all the clues. Alright. There's Pref. Tucked Pref. Come for his benevolence. Messiah of discontinuing. Brute force. And Pascal. There we go. I need to do the combat all over again. Do it. And force them all to come to me.
I feel nothing. Fear nothing.
You don't frighten me!
Yes, gather together. Alright, Cabela.
I will leave footprints of scarlet.
Swoop. And up on the other side. A little bit of the dance macabre. you
as
into
honor
position.
ordains.
Actually, poised to strike.
I shall not fail. As honor
Captive
ordains.
audience. Hop
As
onto the other
tenets
side.
demand.
Death
Trust
Whisper.
me, my blade whispers your name.
Oh,
I shall. The shadows will see. Let your soul be
these
purged.
guys are pretty tough. Anyway, Argenta.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
How about you get started? Just with all the things.
Faith
Okay,
without
approach.
deeds is worthless.
Run and gun.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. Eradicated.
I'm amended.
I am his will made manifest.
Just have an extra shot.
I'll do it.
And reload.
Doubt is for the... As the Emperor commands, I
More
act.
wildfire.
I'll do it. Each stroke is a prayer. As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without
Everyone
deeds
slaughter.
is worthless.
And that's all you can do. Cassia! I was about to do a little bit. Boom,
Step
boom.
aside. The navigator is coming.
And then... Actually, you know what's really funny?
I'm not accustomed.
I'm amended.
And then
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
holding him in your gaze a couple times.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? If I may,
Oh,
As honor ordains. Killing brings me no pleasure.
and Death Bolts. Good enough. Let's go ahead and go find a
show
Sardic
you why
Bella then.
navigators are feared.
I bring mercy
Duns
and
Macabre
retribution.
Riding.
Trust caught by the web.
And
The other side awaits. Blood is my
Alright.
right. Death is my duty.
I did it! Yay! Oh, I almost missed some goods there. Anyway, let's make sure everyone's properly gathered up. Put down a hard save before heading down. Just in case I get stuck again.
Executing request.
Oh, what the fuck, man? It's weird. It's not registering me as being on this map. Okay, I'm in the observatorium, but yeah, everyone's had trouble with. Stuck after activating lift. No idea.
Death walks with me.
God fucking damn it. Unfortunately, the thing that everyone's been having trouble with which I had trouble with, is drowning out the actual bug, which is being stuck at the fucking elevator. Toy box, quests. Started. Yeah, let's complete that one. Still stuck.
Another step, another
I woke
thread.
up with a feeling of wonder, as if a
What
field
the
of
fuck
flowers
is
was
going on
blossoming
here?
nearby. A child was saved from death. 1,000 heretics were burning alive, begging
That didn't
and
fix anything.
sobbing
God
and howling.
damn it! Load game. Okay, arc. Stuck. Second. Okay. What the fuck?
a nice little stroll.
Shouldn't be anybody new. There. Maybe... no?
No sleep, no rest. Only duty, only death.
Don't know why this area transition is being such an ass. Cutscene plays, and then I cannot exit the elevator. Okay, let's exit the main menu. Hope. That'll fix shit. Nope. Okay, exit desktop then. Because I have no idea why the fuck it's doing this. Like, I don't think any of the mods I have installed should be affecting this. Okay, restart the game. And...
I'll guide your vessel and lead you on your way.
Alright, I'm gonna report this as a bug. And just end stream here, because Jesus fucking Christ. See you guys tomorrow.